What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another special video that people ask me quite often. I've made a few videos of this in the past, but I guess I can do a monthly update. So what people have been asking me is, how do endgame players make money? And quite honestly, the answer is mostly grinding. If people say they make like 10 bill a day, it's either by enhancing and getting lucky or by grinding a lot. But I wanted to show you my daily routine and just show you some things that you guys can do as well. And this is also helpful for, I guess, more or less beginners. There's some tips I can give you for that. But more importantly, it's more for like intermediate level players to end game. But I'll try to include some of the things that if I were to start a new account tomorrow, these are the things I would do as well. So obviously, I make a little bit more just because of how much time invested in, like, just my knowledge of the game. But number one, let's say we're waking up first thing in the morning, right? And the first thing you would do is, if you were fishing overnight or just literally AFK, doing an activity, leaving your game on, fishing is probably the best one you can do. That's like pure AFK. So one thing I would recommend to new players is just always be doing something. Don't just park your character AFK doing nothing, just sitting there, because you could always be processing, cooking, alchemy, fishing if you're doing AFK activities for longer periods of time. But always just be doing something, and chances are you could turn whatever you're doing into silver. But so first thing I do, wake up, and if I'm fishing, I'll just turn it into the closest town. I used to try to min-max it and be like, I would fish in the ocean and then turn it into like Valencia for the max amount of profit. And realistically, these days, it's not as worth it as it used to be. Like, making an extra 50 to 100 mil doesn't actually mean as much. But I mean, if you're trying to like catch every cent, then it's good. So one thing you could do early on is Imperial Delivery. So we have ours made. We have 213 boxes. So the way you can understand how you can make yours is you take your contribution points and divide it by 2. That's how many boxes you can make per day. So let me see. We're starting off with 10 mil. Hold on. Let me dump this all into Central Market. That was actually from like fishing and stuff early. That's why I have like relics and everything. So yeah, I'll show you what we can make as well, and I'll basically break down how I can do it. So number one, we have, let me actually swap servers so I get the reset. But number one is Imperial, and it is recommended to do it at the Guru level because obviously Guru gives you the most profit per box. And I would say even if you're doing it at Master, I'm pretty sure you could still profit off of that one. And getting to Master cooking, very easy these days. Just cook whatever materials your nodes and workers are picking up, and then you'll get it in no time. So number one, we have 213 boxes, 0 money in your inventory. Bam, easy 237. So if you were to buy all the materials off the market, it would cost me about like 130 million. So either way, for me, the more CP you have, the more profit you make. I personally make around 100 mil a day just from extra profit, just because of my mastery level and everything. So the important thing is you can also get this. So if people are wondering, how do you get the supreme cooking utensils and everything, you can use the 500 seals that you get from here to get one of the new supreme cooking tools. And that allows you to cook 5,000 more, which is, I think, very good. So just save up those if you need it. The same thing works for alchemy as well. Alchemy is not as profitable in terms of Imperial Delivery, but you get the seals to make the tools and everything. So next thing we have on our list is farming. I personally have 10 farms, and each farm or plot costs 10 CP, right? So then we have 10 of them. And honestly, I think farming is more of an advanced life skill. I say advanced very loosely, but like, it's very easy to do. And the reason why I think most people would do farming in general is because you want the materials for a tier 9, or you're just trying to get contributions on the side. So personally, I do strawberries because the byproducts you get off of that are the magical blue seeds of abundance, or the fruit of abundance. And I personally use those. And if you know how to turn the fruits into higher tier stuff with alchemy, then chances are you can make a lot of profit off of that. So generally, farming is not a lot of money, but if you know how to turn it into money, then it is. So I would say, for the most part, I do it for a contribution, but if I get the things on the side as a bonus, it's cool. But mostly what we want are fruit of abundance and the extra, where is it? Blush leaves on the sides, and you can see what you turn yours into. I personally turn mine in for contribution XP because that allows me to get more Imperial boxes daily, and that's just more profit overall. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. Actually, there is a right or wrong answer. What you should be getting is Stonetail fodder or turn it into contribution XP. Everything else, I believe you can just buy off the market. But I didn't really look too much into it. And so, yeah, this is basically how to do farming in a nutshell. If you don't know where to get the fences, there's actually 2 of them. So like right here, the Clouds Old Moon fence. And that will save you 20 contribution points by just doing a small quest line. It's not too bad. But I believe that in every town, there's an NPC that allows you to just rent out fences for 10 CP each. So yeah, it is like an expensive task that's not really meant for beginners. But they do have the quests for beginners, so you can at least get 2 of them for free. And so that's why I think that farming is not bad. I think on average you can make between like 20 mil if you were just to sell all the byproducts from the leaves, or if you know how to turn the products into something else via cooking or alchemy, you'd probably turn that into at least maybe 100 depending on what you do. I personally do magical strawberries because it fits with my time schedule and it gives me abundance fruits. But if you're trying to min-max something, then make whatever you think you need. So after that, what we have is, so like, let's say we made like 300 mil already just by all of this stuff, right? And next thing you have is obviously your daily login. Being in a guild, you get a guild bonus up to 5 mil a day. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot in 2023, but it just adds up over time. So you get 5 mil or up to 5 mil. If you don't have it, just talk to your guild master or officers, and most guilds, I believe, just do 5 mil daily pays, and if they don't, find a new guild. So after that, you also get money from like collectible silver. How that is calculated is by your total family fame and like all, well, I guess that is included, but mostly your big money is coming from combat fame. These 2, I guess, are just nice on the side, but it's very like, it's harder to get the life fame and special fame up, whereas you can get your combat fame to way past 6,000 or the max tier just by playing the game. If you've done a lot of seasons, and even if you're a new player, you can probably get that 6,000 pretty easily. All you have to do is mostly just make new characters and then get them to 61. So if you have any friends to like power level you, I heard it, you can get to like 61 or 60 in like 2 hours these days. So yeah, so let me show you. This is what I've been collecting. I do this daily, and then you also have workers and nodes that go on. So yeah, if you just know how to use your fruits properly, and then you can just make some money as well. And so what do we have next? So let's say we have about 350 mil so far daily, and maybe more if you do fishing overnight. I personally don't do it. Next thing we have are login rewards. The game rewards you for just playing the game. So as you guys know, obviously the rewards are going to be different depending on when you watch this, when you're playing, but generally, like, if you look at this, they give you free money every day just by doing whatever, and generally the rewards are like, they're not terrible. but it's like an extra 15 mil a day on average for most things, depending on what you get. But if I were to take a quick look at it, the value is probably within the 10 to 50 mil range, and except for the last like 5 days. But it doesn't really matter. If you know how to turn these items into something new, then you can definitely profit off of it. So now is definitely a good time to be playing, because there's a lot of extra bonuses along here, and these are going up until like, well, this one's ending tonight, but for all of you who are playing up until July, you still have time to get all the rewards. I believe there is a daily special for another month, and these are pretty good logins, rewards, and it's free stuff. So if you're wondering how to make money from there, that's how you do it as well. And then obviously grinding and life skilling are two of the biggest factors of how to make money. It also depends on like how much gear you have, but I personally make about 1 bill an hour grinding. That's an average hour. Sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't. So I would just say that's an average for me. So I have a video I made a while ago that I'll leave in the description. It's the best spots to grind for silver, the best spots to use for agris and everything. So basically, here's how I looked at it in an objective way. So you look at this thing, and then you look at your AP, or like your stats, and then you compare it to the stats that it'll tell you in game. And I would say about 99% of these are accurate. We looked through every single one. I'll leave a link in the description to a video of like my favorite grind spots and everything that are good for silver, XP, and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say 99% of them are accurate. If you don't want to watch the video, just look through all this yourself and figure out what you need, what might be profitable to sell. And so yeah, add another bill an hour for me personally grinding. And every day, assuming you have, or you stay logged on, even if you're AFK doing something, which you should be, my energy bar fills up probably about twice a day, maybe more if I have like extra buffs going that recover energy faster. So with the recent patch, Land of the Morning Light, they added a system in the game that allows you to basically gather faster. I guess it is faster. Basically, when you gather, you have a chance to proc a mini game, and that uses 10 energy and gives you like the 10x of the base rewards. So I think on average, the amount of materials you get from life skilling kind of equals out. Maybe it's a little bit less, but it saves you a lot of time. So for example, for me to dump 574 energy without this, it would take me about like an hour and 15 minutes. But when I tested it the other day, and I used this mini game, dumping 574, it took me about 40 minutes. And maybe less or more, depending on how often you proc the mini game. So yeah, that really just saves like almost 50% of your time, which is pretty valuable. So I could recharge it twice a day. And I probably make about 300 to 400 mil per cycle of energy. So that's another thing. So like right now, let's say we did an hour of grinding. I'll just take 1 hour, because you can use the Marnie Realm hour once a day. Everyone has it. So I'll just take that as the golden standard. If you grind 1 hour a day, how much do you make? Add that. And then if you life skill, you can just add more as well. So let's just say for grinding and life skilling, that's like 2 bill a day. And then plus all the other things I showed you. Now, one last thing before we wrap up is something that everyone can do. Obviously, people will be at a different stage, is the Pit of Undying. So if you don't know what it is, it's this thingy. Where is it? It is this thing. So like the Pen, Tet, Tri, Duo, and Pry Undying Crest Insignia. Basically, every day you do it, you get a bunch of rewards, and you fight some bosses, and you get some like crow coins, and then you could turn those crow coins into monetary items like accessories or cron stones. I personally take the cron stones every time, but it is a good, like, if you do it for cron stones, you can get like 70 a day, which is, you know, like 70 mil a day, or more if you do accessories. And the way you could do it, I believe there's a mini quest line you have to do for Pit of Undying first, and then you could find that in like the suggested tab somewhere. I don't exactly remember what it's called, but I remember having to do that years ago. But then after you do that, there'll be a little tab in your like menu thing. It's called Pit of Undying, and then it allows you to just teleport into there, and then you fight 4 bosses. It's really easy, and then you just like for 15 minutes of work every day, you get 70 mil. And I think that's a pretty good thing to do. It takes 27 days to go from Pride to Pen, guaranteed, as long as you can beat the bosses. I have some videos if you want to watch how I did it, and so it's not that hard. But like 15 minutes of work for an easy 100 mil, I think it's worth your time. And then finally, this is something that people could do if you are into PvP as well. So first of all, the red battlefield. I don't know how many of you guys still do it, but every now and then when I'm feeling like I'm in the PvP mood, I'll do a red battlefield every day. Basically, you just win 1, or the total or objective is to get 5 red battlefield seals. I think you get like 2 for losing and then 5 for winning. So if you win, you're just done for the day, which is good. And then it gives you some silver and goodies, and it's not a lot, but you just get some money every day, and then eventually you just get some other stuff. So that's a good chunk of money. And then for all of you who do node wars, even if your gear completely sucks, as long as you participate in your node war and your guild does like 50 KD total, and you get like a box of rewards, which is like 150 mil plus some other goodies. As long as you participate and meet the minimums, that's like 150 mil a day. So I would encourage everyone to at least practice, even if you don't like PvP. Just show up and try. Like, it doesn't matter if you're good or not, as long as you participate. And so, yeah, let's calculate everything. So all the workers and nodes that I have going, I don't know how much money. I've never actually calculated it, but I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know, maybe 50 mil daily just with what I have total. And then if you know how to process those, this is something you can do on your downtime as well. So you could turn that 50 mil into like 200. So yeah, let's break down what I did. Grinding, 1 bill an hour. Lifeskilling, I do gathering and dump my energy maybe twice a day. So that's another 500 mil per cycle, so maybe another billion. Pit of Undying, maybe another 100 bill for 15 minutes of work, easy. Just login rewards, that kind of varies, to be honest, but generally the rewards are worth something, so you literally just log in and get rewarded. Login rewards, family fame, that's another like probably up to like 20 mil a day. It adds up. Farming and Imperial Delivery of what you guys just saw here. So we have all the materials plus fishing. I think around, like, if I were to just play at a very minimum of like maybe 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours a day, I can make like 2.5 to 3 billion silver. Obviously, mine is going to be a little bit different than yours because I have a little bit more gear and everything. But I think for your average person, just making like 500 mil with minimal effort, just doing Imperial deliveries, just go AFK fishing and processing throughout the day if you're busy working. Just make sure to be doing something. Don't just stand there AFK like I'm doing right now. Just do something in game, and yeah, just turn that money into profit. And so, yeah, hopefully that explained a lot. I know this is like a 20-minute video almost, but hopefully that broke down what I do. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, join the Discord, ask in the comments. I'm happy to respond. And if you're new to your channel, thanks so much for watching. I would love to see you guys come back. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and follow the social media stuff down below if you are interested in keeping up with all the new uploads and everything. So, with that said, thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.